Well, it's really such a ridiculous sentence. You think about it and you're saying, it's no way possible. My release date's 2056. I won't even be alive. So you're thinking, that can't be right.
Derek Twyman was originally sentenced to 160 years for a string of non-violent break-and-enters when he was in his early 20s. Lisa Shing takes us through how he managed to serve just 30 years behind bars.
Sure. How you doing?
For the first time in almost 40 years, Derek Twyman sets foot on Canadian soil.
We came through and she said, welcome home. That was nice.
Haven't heard that in a while.
No, I've been trying to get here for a while.
The 54-year-old and his family moved to North Carolina from Oakville, Ontario as a teenager. Struggling to fit in, he fell in with the wrong crowd. Twyman was sentenced to 160 years in prison for a series of nonviolent home robberies. The judge is on record saying he knew some of the people whose homes were broken into. Twyman thought he'd never get out until lawyers and judges in Ontario, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, and North Carolina took an interest in his case.
Hi, Shane. How are things in the legal world?
Shane Martinez, now a human rights lawyer in Toronto, was just a law student in New Brunswick when he and Twyman first rode each other 10 years ago. Martinez lobbied politicians, started a postcard campaign, even had Twyman call in a number of times on his campus radio show.
To think that for a completely nonviolent property-related offense, that someone could die in prison, that was the biggest thing.
It was the work of a local lawyer in North Carolina, though, who put in the final push. He called the judge who sentenced Twyman all those years ago, who had a change of heart.
I mean, he found these people, out of thin air kind of thing, and they read the stories and read the communications and felt that it was necessary to get involved. You couldn't buy the support that he has at this point.
Now that he's free, Twyman has his work cut out for him, finding a place of his own and a job to start.
I've taken graphic design, taught ESL, English Second Language, GED class. I was assistant editor of a newsletter at one of the prisons, teacher's aide in the sewing plant where they made the clothes for the prison. It's that people are going to look and say, oh, this guy's been in prison for 30 years. We don't want him. Not over this guy that just got out of college. It's just I need a starting point.
Despite all this, it's his outlook that has the team that supported him all these years convinced if anyone can succeed, it's him.
I don't know, it's probably just the way I was brought up. Just because he gave me a sentence and I disagreed with the sentence, so I can't fault him for that.
Once he's settled, Twyman says he wants to start a nonprofit to help others like him, Canadians imprisoned abroad, wanting a fresh start. Lisa Shing, CBC News, Toronto.